Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody doing today? Let me get going here. There we are. How are you all doing? Let's get this box going here. Is that annoying up there? I don't know. Let's find out. Do it, right? Let's just do it. How is everybody doing? It's game jam time. Hello to Mero and Alex Lee and good old Knucklebutt in the Twitch chat. How's everybody doing today? We're working on our game. I want to see how everybody else's game is going too, but I'll do a quick little jump in to how my game is going and what I'm actually doing with it. Just take a second to sort my stuff out here. JT, currently working on your jam game, which turned into a deep dive on the new Unity input system. Nice, that's good. It's good in a game jam to try out new stuff like that. I haven't touched the Unity input system in a while. Because it is handy, but I use an asset for all my input stuff in general when I'm not working on tutorials. And for tutorials, it's sometimes easier to stick with the more basic input system because it's easier for people to get a quick grasp of. Your school project is taking your time, Justy Fruity. That happens. School is important. That's what they say. Oh, a quick little drink of water. Right, so this is my game that I'm working on here at the moment. There's a game called Vampire Survivor, which is kind of popular at the moment, which the idea is you just run around and avoid creatures and have to you kind of automatically attack them. So I'm doing something similar to that, but then mixing in some elements of Dark Souls with the stamina meter, so you can dash to avoid things and things like that. And I'm going to mix in some elements from Loop Hero as well as my plan, where you have to collect weapons and things like that. So at the moment, you'll have different weapons that you collect and can do damage in different ways to the creatures that are around. At the moment, we just have this little blue ball that spins around you and kills any of the guys around you like that. And you collect, whoa, trying to get damaged, collect these little pink things and they give you level power. Oh, my levels are all crazy messed up because I was doing some testing. Let me just turn this bit off. I'll delete that bit of code there and we'll go back in here. Is this a Dark Souls of GamesPlusJam? There is a bit of Dark Souls element to it, definitely. Alex, you're new, so you're just a tank with different weapons go burn. Nice. Depends on as a curse to my project. Oh no, that's okay though. Whatever you can get done in the time. I think maybe I saw your game on Discord. Did you share a little clip of it on Discord? I'm going to jump into Discord to show off some of the bits of people's games that were shown off on there, just to see some bits of what people are doing. So yeah, you collect these things. It fills up your little level bar on the bottom here, and then obviously you collect enough, it gets full, and boo, level up, and then you'll start getting some stats and things like that. Lots of cool, fun bits to be had with this. I think it's going to be a fun little thing to do. But sure, all you can do is do it and see how it turns out, right? At the moment, I have a magic system as well, which is currently not doing anything. We have our stamina for dashing. I think some weapons are going to use stamina and some weapons are going to use magic, is the idea. So you'll have to kind of manage those as well. So it's mostly about running around and managing things. You take away the element of having to actually attack things, which leaves you free to manage different elements within the game as well while you're moving around. So that's the basic idea, and hopefully I think it's going to be fun. I think it's worth checking out and seeing how it goes anyway. Like these guys, when they hit against you, they bounce off you, and then they take away your health, and then obviously you die. I should probably make it so that when the player dies, the weapon disappears as well, or else you can keep gathering you can keep gathering some points along the way, which wouldn't be great. But again, that's all stuff to deal with a little bit later down the line. But yeah, that's cool. It's kind of been fun so far to work on. It's something a bit different. It's something I haven't touched before, which is also part of what I like to do in game jams, is something a little bit different to make it kind of stand out a little bit like that. Kaleva, hello. What is up? How are you, my friend? Thanks, Knucklebutt. It does look fun. You make story for this game? I don't know, it doesn't seem like a story kind of thing. So what I'm planning to do here on the stream is I'm going to take a little look at some of the things that people have shared on Discord, first of all, but then I'm going to start adding in some models into this game. I'm going to be... Orb is the most loyal object ever, yes. Yes, Kaleva, that is the real Knucklebutt. AKA my brother Stephen. From the Doyle Boys podcast. Getting your feet wet, Unity and pixel art tutorials. Sweet up, Jonathan. I'm trying to make a classic JRPG once I feel confident. Cool. Still need to... I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of music and sound effects for this game in general. I haven't really thought about that too much yet. But there you go. Okay, let's jump quickly into Discord here to show off a couple of things. Oh, no, I didn't mean to shake everything away. Back up here. So we had this from Master Magpie. Look at this little thing. This just looks fun. It seems to be mixing different pieces of animals together, which I think is an interesting idea. I don't know what the gameplay will be, but I do like how it renames the animals when you do it. It's pretty good. Jabco, hello. You're the one making the platformer visual effects game. Oh, cool, cool, cool. I'll share that now in a second here. And then similarly on this, we have Akumi on bass here. He said they're doing something similar. They're doing a QWOP-like game. QWOP was that game where you had to use the keyboard to control a kind of Olympics runner dude, and it was all fiddly diddly and arms flying around all over the place. I love QWOP. QWOP is fantastic. And then you have to build an animal and QWOP them around the world. And I said it will be hilarious, and I imagine it will be hilarious because that actually sounds like an amazing idea. So that was in this channel. In this other channel, we also had a few more. Let's scroll up here. Where are we? No, that's all older stuff. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. So this is the tank game. Boom, make this bigger. Look at this tank little thing, it looks cool. It's been a while since you last watched. Jabco, it's been a while since I last streamed, so it's been about a year since I did the stream. Hey look, it's you, Alex. This looks pretty cool. I like how this looks. I mean, like, it's not crazy complicated, but it looks fun, and that's the most important part of it. This tank just looks fun to drive around in and to shoot things. Look at this little fella falling over. I like the way you have the red line to aim, but the objects have a drop when they fire. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like it. What else we got here? This one is from Samu. This one looks very interesting too. It seems like you have to manage the temperature of different rooms. So like your target here is 16. Open some windows to get the temperature down. And it looks like you have to do it with lots of different rooms, and there's radiators too. This looks like a fun little running around trying to manage all the different stuff in the house kind of thing. I like the idea of this one quite a bit. You're mixing up the heat levels, I guess. This is Laco's entry. Look at this. Look, I love this cute little art style. And I like the idea of this kind of physicsy kind of platformer type thing. Look at that guy. Oh, he got him. Got him good. Look, there's such variety of the things people are making. AMV, there's not too much in this. I did see this earlier. Just kind of just the movement stuff. But this looks really cool, despite the fact that it's like there's very little going on in the environment here. It just looks really cool. I like the visual style of... Get back out of here. The visual style of this whole thing. It's just like a little bit of ground and some water. I don't know if this is meant to be an island in the water or something, or that's just a texture in the background. But for some reason, it just like looks awesome. I don't know why, just the visual style of it. And you can see at the moment, all they've got in here is like this little guy moving and walking off the edge. But that's okay. These things come, right? And was there one? Oh, we got a couple more that I hadn't seen before. There's the turret. Look at this. Look at this tank fella. Look at this tank fella. He looks great. I think this is Watercat. I don't think he's doing the game jam, but I think that's just an unrelated thing. But yeah, so there you go. There's a few things people are working on. I definitely want to hear if anyone else is making some progress with their games. I want to hear what is everybody doing, what cool things are happening out there. I definitely can't wait to see those like animals and stuff being all mixed together. Let's put on a bit of background music here. Turn this down a bit. Hopefully that won't be too loud. I think when I talk, it should automatically go quieter. Well, I'm going to turn down on my speakers too. I don't want to be deafened. You see a tank chassis from the Unity Tanks tutorial with a blaster from Kenny slapped onto it. Nice! Okay, what ideas am I working on? Yeah, so I was just showing it off a moment ago. Let's just quickly do it again here. There's a few more people in. This is the basic idea of the game. It's like the game Vampire Survivors, if you've kind of caught that, with a bit of Dark Souls thrown in with some stamina management. The idea is you just kind of... You have lots of enemies coming towards you. You basically have to try and survive as long as you can. Mostly by avoiding them. You don't manually attack them, just you'll have different weapons that you use to attack them. For the moment, we got this little blue fella. We'll probably have like upgrades and stuff like that, so we'll make this guy move faster around potentially, or be bigger, do a bit more damage when it hits enemies, because obviously enemies are going to get more powerful as the game goes on. And you run around, you collect these little pickups, and then you level up. Woohoo, I leveled up. And yeah, it's hopefully going to be lots and lots of fun. One of those games where the numbers go up and you feel satisfied that, yeah, I'm getting more powerful as you go through the game. And we'll probably have... My idea is to have a system like Loop Hero, which is a game that came out last year, that was a very kind of passive game. But you collected weapons and armor and things like that as you went, and you would equip them as the game went on. So that's the idea that hopefully we're going to do here as well. Do this, and honestly at the moment it's just kind of fun running around trying not to get killed by these guys, so I'm looking forward to kind of keeping up with this. But the next thing I want to do is start adding in some models to this little game here, so that's what we're going to do here. Have a little relax and work on some game, right? Laco, hello, how are you? So I'm going to be using the models I'm going to be using are a whole bunch of ones from Quaternius, which I've used some of their models in the past as well. If I have their website open here, Quaternius.com. Oh, I put an O in here, and that shouldn't be there. Boop! Quaternius. A whole bunch of cool free assets they create, and they're all free to use. They're all CC0, so you don't have to give credit to them. But obviously, you know, I want to shout them out because they are amazing. I've used them in my courses and stuff like that before, and they're all great and amazing. I definitely recommend using them if you're looking for some 3D assets for your games. But I'm going to use these little animated monster dudes. They're going to be the enemies that are attacking us. We've also got... There's these little fish people that I'm also going to use for enemies to attack us. Probably not going to use them all. And then we're going to use these character models as well to act as the player model in our game. So we'll have to pick one of those to use. And what I want to do is go for a kind of cartoony kind of style. So we're going to make some changes to the models and hopefully make them pretty cool. So first of all, let's grab one monster and one player to use in our game. So go into our animated monsters here. Could I see a preview of them? Look at this bat boy. We go for this little demon fella. Demon's coming out first. We'll act as our basic dude here, and then let's get the animated characters. Oops. That. Animated characters. Who will we go for? Ideally, I'd like to have it so that you can have different you can pick a different character. But again, that'll be a matter of, do we get time to do something like that? Let's just go with this base character. I think there's different textures to use, although there doesn't seem to be. This white skin, black. Let me check the models. Animated characters. I just downloaded the FBX file, so maybe I might need to go back to that website. In here. Object files? No. Blend files? No. Is there no textures for these guys? Maybe there's just no textures for them. They are pretty simplistic. Okay, let's try a different model then, instead of just the base character model. Let's go with one a bit more interesting. They've all just got these. They're all missing textures really at the moment here. So we're going to change that. You might look into these, Jabco. You should. They're absolutely fantastic. A chef, just a casual dude, casual lady. Let's go with this one. Zoom in. Get a 2D here. Okay. Oop. And let's get demon over here out of the way as well. Let's make them look good before we do anything else, first of all. So our demon guy, these guys have a specific texture for them. So let's just go back into this one and texture. There should be a demon texture, and let's create a material for this guy. Demon. And I'm going to use my toon shader that I set up. Give that texture. Pop this on this guy. And boom, now he looks like a little demon guy. Oh, look at it. Look at all the demonness of him. So spooky. Downloading some models and realizing they don't come with textures. I think these models are actually, not that they don't need textures, they just have materials assigned to certain vertexes and stuff. I do notice that this is, the way it's lit is kind of odd, but we're actually going to be using that lighting anyway, so it doesn't matter. There's a whole bunch of different materials for this one though, so let's set up some materials for it, I guess. Let's do it the cheap and easy way. So let me select this. I'm going to extract materials into a new folder called Casual to Female, which is the name of model. Put them in there, then let's go in here, and we've got all of these. I'm going to switch these to our cell shading toon shader thing here. Now that looks a bit more cartoony. Then let's get the face. Nope. Skin. Let's make him. Could go a funny color with the skin. We could do like Simpsons color. But we just go a bit more boring. Boring. The video quality does look pretty poor, I will agree with you there. I'm not dropping any frames or anything. I don't think my frame rate is that low. Was it like this yesterday as well? Maybe I'll try. Bear with me for a second. Does that make it any better here? Weird, right? Weird. This is the problem when you don't stream for like however long. For a year. You forget how all this stuff works. Good. Okay, I think that looks a bit better now. Yeah. Is that okay for everybody? Much better? Perfect, perfect. Okay, so let's make this the player then. Player. So get out of here. Wait, no. Put up some reference. That here, bit big. So let's shrink them down. Be about the size of that. Let me get rid of you. Then with our demon, we're going to make that child of our enemy over here. Again, we'll shrink it down a little bit, but not too much. There we go. Get rid of our capsule. And then just play and see how this looks for the moment. There we go. We got a demon coming towards us. Ugh. Oh, well, that first enemy shouldn't be active by default. It's supposed to be deactivated. There we go. Okay, so we got some demons coming towards us. That's good. But of course, at the moment, our player looks very, very kind of static and boring. So we need our player to start animating, and we need to give some animation to these little guys as well. So let's set that up next. So let's go to our character here. There's a whole bunch of animations that come with it, so let's hope that they're going to work nicely for us. So let's open the animation window. Animation. Pop this down here. Let's go back over to the player. And we're going to... no, we're going to add an animator here. And we're going to create a new animator. So create folder, animations, player, animator, controller, there we go. Player, animator, controller. Gebco. I can see if I can put a few tracks together, as in music. I don't want to pressure you because you're working on your own thing, aren't you? What's the theme? The theme is Mix It Up, which you can see on the left of the screen here. But yeah, I think I started to say that I do need some music for the game. I haven't even looked at doing music for the game yet. Music and sound effects and all that fun, which I will get to eventually. But for now, I haven't touched it. But Japko, you're working on your own thing. I don't want to pressure you to dive in as well. What was I doing? Put the player animator controller in here. So on my animator controller, that's what I need. Animation, animation. Let's see if we can drag in this character's animations in here. We'll have the idle animation. Have a run animation. For now, that's all I'm going to put in. Did I do a speed? Did I just do I am running? think I'll just do an am running because they're not going to have a walking animation. It's just going to be you run at whatever speed you run at. So running. Say if running is true, then start the running animation. Don't have an exit time, but we do want it to transition nicely. So idle, then running. Go back. Again, 0.2, and do that if running is false. Okay, let's set that up. It looks like the animation is working correctly. There we go. Look, there's the idle animation. I'm just standing here. So let's make that work on the player then. So let's go to our player controller. We need a reference to that. So public animator call anim. We'll make that private actually. We'll just get it in the start. Anim equals get component animator. Lock of War. Hello, Lock. How are you doing, my friend? How's people jam spreading? Gotta spread that lovely jam around. What is your favorite kind of jam? Favorite preserve? I like strawberry jam. Strawberry jam is good. Oregano Dev, hello. Jam is going well so far. I'll show it off again in a second once I get this animation here working. Let's do it at the bottom here. No. Anim.setBool running. Oh, what did I call that? Running. Yeah, I did call it running. Okay. SetBool running. And the value we want to give that is speed. No. Move. No, input amount. There we go. Input amount dot magnitude greater than 0.1. So the input amount magnitude tells us how much we're moving. And if that's basically not 0, then that means we're running. If we're not standing still, we're running, right? Kaleva strawberry jam? See, definitely. Raspberry jam, Lock. I'm just not a raspberry jam fan. It's fine. I'll eat raspberry jam if I'm given it. But raspberry is literally your jam. Cappy, hello. Rico Dude. Portal Knots 2022. One day maybe one day I'll return and do something with Portal Knots maybe. Portal Knots was a fun project. But we're on to cool other things too. Zoodalos, hello. How are you? Let's assign. Oh, the animator isn't there. I do need to assign it manually. Silly James. I forgot it's not on the same component as my script. Oh, where am I looking? There we go. Let's pop you on there. Go back. Check this out then. Let's see if I animate correctly. There we go. We're running. Oh, the animation doesn't play on a loop. We need to fix that. Let's go. Wee. But it is working. The system is working. It's just the animations aren't playing correctly. Oh, I need to do the dash animation next as well. But let's make sure that these animations actually loop correctly then. Models. I'll just select the model, would probably be easier, wouldn't it, James? Think about these things. The det. Wait, no, this is how we do it. I haven't done this in so long. I forgot how this works. Animation, there we go. So det animation. That one shouldn't loop because your player falls down and dies. Defeat, again, I think that one should be the static. Idle should definitely loop. Loop time, yes. Jump. We're not going to use it, but that probably should loop as well. We're not going to use pickup, but again, that should probably loop. I'm just going to set these up so that they make sense. Punch wouldn't receive a hit. It shouldn't loop. Roll, again, it shouldn't loop. But run definitely should. Run if you were carrying something, sure, but we won't be carrying anything. Sit down wouldn't, stand up wouldn't, sword slash wouldn't. Victory. What does that look like? Woohoo! I think that's one that should repeat, potentially, if we decide to use it. And walk carry. Okay. Let's roll down the bottom, apply all those. And let's go ahead here. Play deck! What is this? This is the future. This is game development. This is our game jam. We're working on our game jam game. Woo! Break all those things. Blop. Okay, so the animations are working correctly. Let's get the roll animation going next. Locke was saying, you're thinking about your will it blend idea from last night, and I thought it worked really well. If you had a blender, you can upgrade different parts of, like the motor or the blades. The object is to keep it blending as the things you have to throw and keep piling up. Oh yeah, that would be good. And the blend gets... Oh yeah. I get you. That would be fun. I can definitely see how that would be fun to do. There would be scope to make that really interesting. Okay, let's get our... Where's our roll? There we go. Love a bit of roll. Roll should... roll can come at any point, really, can't it? So let's use this as a trigger to start roll. I love a bit of roll. This transition. I kind of... Then it gets thicker. Ah, I see. That makes sense, Locke. That makes sense. So if we start a roll, then we want it to happen pretty much immediately. Oh. Come over here so I can preview it. Roll. Woohoo! And then when you're finished rolling, transition to either of these two places. And either if you are running is false, you go to there. If running is true, I didn't want to put two of them in. Running is true, then we go to the running animation. So here you see roll and then into running. Can I count on your support for the Civil War? Abraham Lincoln. Sir Melvin, hello. Nice to see some cool names that I haven't seen before. I didn't realize there's a good bunch of us watching it on YouTube, which is a good place to watch. The weekend, eh? I enjoy this streaming malarkey. Haven't done it in quite a while. Kind of fun to work on a project like this. What have we decided to go with? If you haven't seen it, Locke, I'll do it in one moment. Let me just set up this rolling animation first. So when we do our roll, say anim.set trigger start roll. I kind of like this music too. The idea of the game is kind of like there's vampire survivors. Basically, the idea is you move around and you try and avoid enemies. Your character will automatically attack the enemies as you're playing. Oh, why didn't that trigger the roll? Did I spell something wrong? That roll. Oh wait, no, that should only... First of all, I put that in the wrong place. But I should set the trigger. Why is that not... Pressing the button. It's doing all the stuff for the dash to happen. Oh, because these should have an exit time. That's why. Both of these should have an exit time of 1. Or 0.9, let's say. Yeah. I did the wrong thing. So yeah, the idea is you have to survive enemies. You will collect different things as the game goes on. Why is the roll still not working? Oh no. The idea is you survive enemies, your character kind of automatically attacks things. At the moment we just have one attack, which is this spinning little orb thing. I'll do some more of those later tonight probably. But the idea is you attack these various things, you level up, you collect these little pink blobs, which are your experience points. You level up, you get more powerful, you have to pick up new weapons. We've got a stamina bar to manage as well, to do these little dodge rolls, even though I'm not rolling at the moment. And more things will spawn over time. You just have to survive as long as you can, basically. See how long you can survive for, right? If I get enough time, I'd like to have it so that you unlock like upgrades and stuff between games, but we'll see if it gets to that. If you can get to that point. The enemies, when they attack you, they kind of bounce off you a little bit. Boing, boing. But they are doing damage to me, taking away my health. Even though that's not entirely obvious at the moment. But yeah. I'm enjoying it. I think it's kind of fun to just run around doing, so I'm kind of happy with how it's going so far. The rat, hello. You had too many commitments this weekend. That's fair enough. Don't worry about it. A lot of fun. As a tie into the team, well, I'm mixing elements of the game Vampire Survivor and some elements of Dark Souls. I want to mix in some elements of Loop Hero. Also, fighting is mixing it up. Another kind of slang terminology for that. And also, once I get the equipment system in, it's going to be about mixing and matching different elements of the equipments together to make your weapons more powerful and stuff like that. That's the idea, but I haven't got to that point yet. Let's find out why this roll isn't working though. Let me just close these shader graphs because I don't need them open. Yep, that's the idea, Locke. Again, as always with these game jams, I'm also like, I'm not too strict with like, you have to exactly follow the theme. You know, if you've got it, if it's a good jumping off point and it gives you an idea, like go with it. And also, obviously, because it's my game jam, my aim in this game jam isn't exactly to win the game jam or anything like that. I'm just participating for fun. Whoa, okay, let me just fix this YouTube stuff. That's a lot of the same sentences being popped up there. Hello, Benjamin. Make a live kite like your icon. But I wouldn't want to be stealing your style, you know? All those same messages in the chat thing that I'm looking at didn't appear. Funny how like, different systems handle these things differently. So why is this roll not happening? So it goes to here. Has no exit time, so it does that. This one does have an exit time. So it should play through it and then transition to the next stage. Is it not being activated? Let's turn this off maximized. Get this selected. You can see what's happening. When I roll, it is becoming active. But it's stopping so quickly. Oh, this one doesn't... Why did I not turn on exit time on this guy? I thought I turned it on for both of them. There we go. Mystery solved. Woo! I can do a roll even just standing still. Woo! I need to make that roll happen faster though, because it's too slow right now. Can I... Is there a way to speed it up in here, or do I have to do it in the system over there? Where's my roll? Oh, I love a bit of roll. After people are not speaking, that's okay. It's okay to just watch and not talk. That I often, while I'm working, have Twitch streams on in the background of people programming and stuff like that, because I like to have people working on games, especially. Because I like to just watch them, but I generally don't talk because it's just kind of good background noise going on. So you know, don't feel pressure to talk just because you're in a chat. Like we're all here to just chill and hang out, right? So I can't control the roll speed there. So it's just over here. There we go, speed. That's what I'm looking for. That's how you are too, Clive. Just listening, exactly. And randomly, basically what happens is when I'm watching the stream, if I think of something funny to say, that's usually the only time I'll speak up. Woo, woo. Okay, I need to wait for that to actually. I wanted it to complete all the way, and then go to the transition. Maybe we don't actually even need a transition time. Woo! Woo, look at me go! Oh, I ran out of stamina. Too much rolling around like a crazy person. Now let's put this back on maximize so people can see it a bit better. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's animate these little monsters a little bit as well. So I don't really want to... Trying to think... Because there's potentially going to be lots of these on screen at any one time. It isn't right now, but if, for example, we get to a point a little bit later in the game that instead of spawning every second, they're spawning every 0.2 of a second. You might see there's lots of them on screen, but if we have lots of different objects, like, whoa, look at how many we're starting to get here now. If we have lots of different objects on screen, all using the animation system, something I discovered when I worked on Skookaboom and the Tomb of Doom was if you have lots of animators going on, whoa, that's a lot of enemies. If you have lots of animators going on, that can eat up a lot of processing power. Let's see if I can get loads of them. I got a few. I need to get those pickups. Don't hurt me. Oh no. That was a lot of enemies. This is already kind of fun though. But yeah, the animator eats up a lot of system resources, so I don't really want to do that. So I might need to just create a very simple script to very easily animate these guys, which is what I think I'll do, because all I want to do is make these guys look like they're bouncing up and down. So we're going to have to do that, I think, next. AT, trying to figure out why my rigid body character with gravity turned on continues to float up as soon as I start the game. Oh. Check and make sure you don't have multiple rigid bodies, first of all, on the same object. Or if you have a rigid body and a character controller, that can cause issues. The idea is to just survive all those things attacking you, basically, and level up and see how far you can get in the game. It's a pretty straightforward premise. But we'll hopefully add some more systems where you have to mix different pickups together to upgrade your character and stuff like that. So let's see if we can make the enemies move. You don't have those issues? Oh no, oh no! Create a folder for enemies here. Move both of these things into there. Create script enemy bounce movement. I actually think I should maybe use DoTween for this stuff, but I don't know if I want to get into doing that right now. We'll think about that later. Let's see, we got our enemy bounce movement. I'm going to open this up. Thanos, hello! You missed the last stream? That's okay. That's why we're streaming a few times this weekend. Epco, you finished doing all the different effects in the game, you're just getting the levels on? Excellent, that's awesome. That's a good place to be at this point. Jason Story, hello. Party people. What do you eat, a sandwich? Yeah, you're still productive, exactly. You're engaging, you're learning things, right? Okay, so let's see. Public float, let's call it jump time. What we're going to do is make this guy bounce up and down, basically. Public float jump height. I'm going to set that to be 0.5 by default, and say 0.5 like that. Not necessarily. Do I want to use gravity? Would that be a good way to do this, maybe? That might actually be a good way to do this. So we can make that have a jump power, so then we could have a private float jump current jump. So if we need to public transform, we'll call this the model. We want to say if the model dot transform dot local position. So if our model, if our height is either at the ground or for some reason below it, if that is less than or equal to 0, then we want to make it start going up in the air. So we'll say current jump equals jump time. And then we'll say our transform dot position plus equals vector 3 dot up. So we're going to move in an upward direction multiplied by whatever our current jump time is. Current, let's call this current power. Let's say, I think it'll probably make more sense. So this should be current power multiplied by time dot delta time, and then we're going to take away from whatever our current power is. So current power minus equals physics dot gravity dot, well, actually that should be plus equals, so y gravity is a minus value, so take away gravity times time dot delta time. Jason, yeah, I was thinking DoTween as well, but I need to download the whole DoTween thing and put it in. I'll probably do that later tonight. I'll just get a very simple version of it going for now. I also just want to test this out. I haven't done it this way before. Might as well try to do it, right? If I change the animator up to mode to animate physics to normal. Oh, I get you, J2. Or J2? JT. Jason, I don't think I've seen your videos before. I have your channel open here now, so I'm gonna take a look at some of those later today. Good to have you here. What am I doing? Okay, let's try this out. Let's just see if that works, right? I've got to test these things. Oh, I didn't assign the model. Good thinking, James, good thinking. Also, I need to stop this reload every time. Boom. I don't want to wait for 5 minutes every time I start playing the game. Oops. Here we go. Okay, that doesn't help because I can't see if they're moving correctly. So let's see what we're going to do. Just for the moment, we're going to set their move speed to 0. Let's test this out. They are jumping. Let's say. Okay. Not a lot going on there. Did they have outlines on themselves? No, I have like a screen space outline thing going on that automatically puts outlines around things. Something I was playing around with before that I was trying to use for different things. Let's get this enemy. I'm going to keep an eye on this guy because he's kind of the most important one. Let's play. He's not jumping up and down much. You know? He's not doing a lot of jumping up and down. This guy. What am I missing here? So if his white position, debug, because I'm stupid. That's why. Because I'm not setting the, I'm setting the position rather than the local position. That's what I should be setting. Yikes! Yikes! Because I have something else that automatically sets the position back to 0. Okay, well now it's just still not working. Why is that? Why is that? Why is his position not changing? Transform. Oh my god, I'm still doing the wrong thing because this shouldn't be the transform. It should be the model's transform. Ay, 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 ay. What's the summary design idea? I'll show you in a second once I get this little guy to animate correctly. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, let's make this 3.5, let's say. Let's move speed back up then. Move speed 3.5. And we'll deactivate this fella by default. So the idea is basically to dodge these enemies and survive. It's kind of like the game Vampire Survivors, if you've seen that one or not. There we go. Now they suddenly look a lot more threatening now that they're bouncing towards me. We need to scale them up a little bit as well. But it's a passive game, so your character attacks automatically. You have to survive. You level up, you get more powerful, unlock weapons, do cool things. You got a stamina system to keep aware of as well. It's also going to be based on the weapons at some point, and we've got a magic system that again will be based on how much magic attacks you're doing. Wow. I'm also going to have, ideally, if all this stuff works out, a mix it up special weapon that you can collect along the way that will just do a big massive attack, but it'll use up like all your stamina and all your magic and also use itself up. But it's basically like a get you out of danger situation. But they'll only spawn randomly. Is the idea. We'll see how it goes, right? Look at all these guys, they're so terrifying. It was covering up my code. That probably makes sense. I mean, I do put my code over there normally. Let's mix it up down here, right? There we go. Perfect. Thank you for pointing it out. Okay, so that works. So the enemy is bouncing nicely. I actually kind of like how that bouncing looks, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's let's see. So I want him to squash out when he goes at the bottom, and then once he gets above a certain height, squash back in. So let's say if yeah, let's just do this. If model dot local position dot y is less than 0.25, public float squash speed public. I can definitely spell public, right? I can also say the word public. Definitely not a problem for me. 2 out of 3 levels done, then it's all polished from there. Sweet, Kaleva, that's awesome. That's a good position to be in at this point in the jam. With just over 28 hours left to go. If I was smart, I would have a timer up on the screen. Your player jumps but then hangs unless you add mass. That seems awkward. Your icon is good as new. Okay. I can't even see what the icon is. Too small. It's too tiny. Oh no. Okay, let's do this. So when it goes to that, then transform.local scale equals vector tree dot move towards from whatever it currently is. No, not transform. Jeez, James. We want to look at the model, not the transform of the entire... Wow, I should have just put the script on the model. But anyway, here we go. Model... No, what we want to do is go to a new vector tree, which will be 1.5, 0.5, and 1.5. So we'll be squashed down and squashed out. And how fast we want that to happen is our squash speed times time.delta time. And really this should happen after you land, but a little bit of anticipation is okay too. Else we want to stretch it up a bit. Else if our jump, no, not jump, if our current power is greater than 0.5, well, basically if we're moving up a lot, then we're going to make ourselves stretch up a lot, 1.5, and we'll go 0.75, this, 0.75, and then otherwise, so basically if we're falling, but we're still nowhere near the ground, then make it move towards, we'll just make it move towards vector 3.1, I think. So, back to normal size. Resting 24 hours to go. You definitely should, Kaleva. You can sing away to your heart's content. I probably won't. Is there a song called 24 hours to go? I know 21 seconds to go. I got 21 seconds to go. Good old classic UK. Was it grime? I don't know. Maybe that's not extreme. Oh, well, I don't have a speed. Haha. Let's set that at 2. Where are you, little fellas? Boing, boing. Look at them. They're bouncing and wibbling around. Look at these little fellas. Look at those little cuties coming to kill me. I quite like that. I think that works out pretty well. Oh, there's a lot of them. Oh, there's a lot of them. I still have the spawn rate set very, very high. So that's kind of a bit tricky at this point. The Ramones. Ah, the Ramones. Kasim Kastan, hello, hello. The Ram ones. Oh, look at all these guys that are coming to get me. Oh, it's like a heart. Yes, it is like a heart. Someone's just bouncing on the ground like a basketball. Oh, Lord. Right. Okay. I'm pretty happy with how they're animating. So we've got a player model in place. We've got our little dudes running around. I'm probably going to play with the texture for these guys a little bit because at the moment I want to keep it a bit more plain than this. But I'll do that a little bit later too. So for now, let's see. No card game. No, I ended up not deciding to go with a card game because I think it just requires too much play testing for working in Jam, especially because I'm not super familiar with card games. I don't play a lot of them, so I didn't want to add that extra pressure onto it. But one thing I do want to do is I want to place objects randomly in the world now. So what I'm going to do is make little tufts of grass, for example, to place around the world, little random rocks, just to make the environment look a bit more interesting rather than, at the moment we have these like just placeholder green blocks here. I don't want to use those. Let's very quickly, let me open up, I'll just do pixel edit for now. I'll replace these a little bit later. I'll draw something nicer. A new single image, 32 by 32, create this. I'm just going to do a bloop, 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 bloop. I'm a little bit of grass. Fill it in. Boop. No, I don't want to completely save it. I just want to export this because I don't care that much. Bum, 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 bum. I need to find Jam stuff is active, GamesPlusJam, assets, art files. Oh, no, arty? Just art, please. Art, and then another subfolder called test. And we'll call this grass tuft test. That back in here. Sprite 16. To do is quite small, so let's make it 32. No compression. Apply that. I don't know why I didn't put it at the bottom, but whatever. Let's do that. Create an empty parent. Grass. Zoom in on this fella here. Move this up a bit. Bloop. There we go. Still quite big, so let's put this at 32. Go. Grass tuft. Back down, touch the ground, roughly. Yeah, that'll do. Center point is there, that's great. I'm going to change the color of it to be a nice green bit of grass. Then we're going to move this back up to here. Would you study Unity code? Everything in Unity is pretty much all stuff that I just learned myself. I did do computer science in college back years and years and years ago, but that was long before I started working with Unity, and but it did give me the foundations of coding in general, but I didn't use C# or anything in that. It was mostly Java, I think. An old Bob Ross brush. Bit of variation to their target vectors, they don't clump up as much. Some wobble to their targeting. Yeah, I'm going to do a very simple version of it for now, but I'll probably add some more to it a little bit later. But for now, I'll keep it nice and simple. What else am I doing? Yeah, let's get rid of these blocks, and we'll create environment spawner. environment controller, maybe. All of that. And let's create a script for it. Create C# script, environment, controller. Bloop. Public game object, grass, tuft. Let's set a float spawn range and yeah, spawn range and an amount to spawn. Let's actually be more specific. Grass to spawn, because I'm going to add other objects too. Let's just do that one for now. Probably make this a bit better at some point, but for now, keep it nice and simple and make it easy. Let's write 20 pages. Ooh, that's a lot of writing to do. You gotta get through it. It's okay, you can participate at another time, I'm sure. Also, Ludum Dare game jam is coming up. That's one of the big game jams. And they're 50th, I think. Ludum Dare is coming up in like, I don't know, a month or something. That's another good one to dive into. You're working on your game too soon? Sweet. 4. Int I equals 0 and I is less than grass to spawn I++. This is pretty much the most basic way to do this right here. This is literally just going to be completely random. Let's create a vector. I don't like creating a vector tree, even though it doesn't take up much data. I don't like creating a new one hundreds of times in the one loop. So let's just create one here. Spawn point equals vector tree.0. And then every time we go to create a new one, we'll update it. So spawn point dot x equals random dot range between minus spawn range and spawn range. And the same for spawn point dot z. So it'll pick a random point to spawn at, and then we're going to just instantiate grass to spawn at the spawn point. Jeez, my mind was going blank there for a second. And quaternion dot identity. Why am I getting an error here? What float am I putting in? Spawn point is a vector tree. Oh, duh, because this is an object, this is a float. I want to put in the grass tuft. So let's rename this one to a more sensible value. Suicune, the Pokemon. Ah, I see. Suicune. Kaleva, enjoy your lunch and your break. I'm looking forward to playing all these games that everyone's going to make. I'm very excited by what I've seen so far. Grass amount to spawn. Make it more sensible. Last night, thank you for watching the tutorials. Good to have cool people learning cool things, right? I'm just here to help out along the way. Let's get grass in here. Spawn range. Let's just, for now, just test this out. Boom. Oh, actually, we should make them spawn at... Or they should be parented to this object. So we'll say that this is game object new grass is equal to this, and new grass dot transform dot parent equals transform. Oh, Jason's story. Yes, that would totally make sense. Yeah, I could see that would be a very sensible thing to do. I'll look back at doing that in a moment. I'm not too worried about that on the player, but on the enemy, yes, that probably would be a good thing to do. Look at that, there we go. We get some random grass appearing. At the moment, they get hard to see when they're below the players or below the camera's view. So we're going to make some changes to that in a moment. But look at the grass looks a bit better. Let's make the ground be the same color as the grass. Would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Boom, ground. This material. Boom. Maybe even darker, to be honest. Oh, oh, that's a lot of green. Oh, that's a lot of green. Probably better to add some areas to make that more interesting, but again, that's a bit of extra work that I can return to a little bit later, but for now is okay. Let's see if we can desaturate this slightly, maybe might better. There we go. That feels a bit better. It's a bit not as much of an assault on your eyes. I mean, I like salt, but I don't like it destroying my eyes. I did too much rolling. I ran out of stamina. Whee! The only problem at the moment is with these textures on these guys, they're quite desaturated too, and I kind of like having a lot of saturation in my active objects, so that's why I'm gonna have to do some work on the textures, I think. But I think the idea of them works quite nicely. I know they are kind of all joining up on top of each other. I don't know if I should try and stop that happening. I feel like I'm perfectly happy with them joining together into this amorphous blob of doom coming to get you. But I don't know. But yes, on their movement and their bouncing, I agree. We have these, so if I wrap these together, boop, boop, save a bit of stuff. Scale, doodle-doo-doo. That's the only thing on that one. Where's their movement? Enemy controller? Why is my enemy controller not open? Weird. That plop does look funny. It does. Never remove things from your game that are going to make it, that might make someone laugh. You know? To give someone a laugh, that's okay with me. Boop 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 doo. That should do. That'll be fine. Thank you for that little tip, Jason Story. There you go. So, in the course of this stream now, we've got the game kind of looking a bit nicer. I want to make these little grass little bits work a bit nicer too. I wonder, can I just make it? I was gonna make them automatically change, but what I could just do. I can make them have the same angle as the camera. I don't know if that'll work always. Let's just try it out. Let's see. So let's go to our grass. Where's our environment control? Here we go. The rotations, I mean, quaternion density should be the camera controller. That instance dot Do I have been a child? Do I have a reference to the camera itself? No, I don't. Let's just use camera.main. Let's just store it, just easier. I know camera.main isn't something that is a problem anymore. Quaternion camrot or camera rotation is camera.main.transform.rotation, and we're going to set the rotation of this object to be the same as the camera's rotation, so that should make it face towards the camera, but I don't know if it's going to work out nicely when we start moving around or not, but we'll find out and see. When does it end? When does what end? Stream? Well, I'm not going to stream all day or anything. There we go. So the I think that actually kind of works, the grass. You can see it better. Although it does feel less like it's standing up. Maybe there's a compromise. Let's say we won't do that. We'll just stick with whatever rotation we set on the grass. So say whatever the grass tuft dot transform dot rotation is, and we're going to take that bit of grass that we already have, and rather than having it be vertical, we're just going to knock it back a bit. Will we do the classic Zelda 30 degrees? Oh, Vlak, yes, sorry. I am hosting the jam, but yeah, I'm not ending the jam anytime soon. Yeah, I'll end the stream at some point, but the what's the word? Oh my god, my brain just completely went blank. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, the jam is going on until tomorrow. There's still at this point 27 hours left. 26.5 hours left. Yeah, so lots of time left to keep working on your games. I'm perfectly happy with how that grass looks. Now, obviously, I'm going to how far do I have to keep walking until I reach the edge? There we go. That's the edge there. Woo! I don't know if I should limit the player's movement or what. See, the graph tufts are okay. I don't know if you want to start using landmarks. They could make objects like move position when they get far enough away from the player. But then they need to be constantly checking the player and stuff like that. I don't know. Necessarily need objects doing that, and maybe you want to be able to keep track of where things are in the world. Although it doesn't really matter where like various objects are in the world. We want to have more standout things like trees and things like that. We might want them to be further away from the player. I think it would be okay if the world is constantly changing around you, right? I don't think that's really a problem. I don't think that'll be a problem, especially for a Game Jam game. I think that won't really matter too much. When you instantiate an object, you can actually set the parent. Oh yeah, you can indeed, of course. I think the reason I didn't do that was because I was thinking about doing something else with this in a little while. I might need to store the grass into a pool and stuff like that, so that's why I didn't necessarily just do it there. I know you could just go here and just go .parent equals .transform.parent blah blah blah. Just pop that on right there. Just thinking a little bit ahead of what I'm doing. Well, JT, you got your guy jumping correctly. That's awesome. Wow, I was meant to mute before I did that little cough there, but instead I pressed the mute after I did the cough. Apologies for that. Uh, yeah, I need to do something with this animation system. Oh yeah, Jason. Yeah, sorry, you're right. You're right. One of many overloads in the instantiation. Sorry. My brain was going completely opposite direction. It's one of those things that I usually do to make it more explicit that you can affect an object when I'm doing tutorials. It's one of the kind of early steps that I use in tutorials to teach the basics of some other stuff. And then I just do it out of habit myself as well. It's funny the things you develop habits for doing, especially as someone who does tutorials. There's lots of things that I do in general that there'd be better ways to do it, but I don't allow myself to do those ways, so I don't fall into bad habits of doing them, and then someone is following the tutorial and they're like, what happened here? I don't understand. Like, there's lots of different improvements that you can make to like Visual Studio and things like that. I'd probably use a different Visual Studio setup, and I do a lot more auto completing and stuff like that, but I don't want to get into that habit in my own code, because then when I'm doing a tutorial it makes it way harder for people following along. So I think I need to rewrite this to redraw the grass as we move further away. You know? Do I ban someone on Twitch? I do this thing and I block them? Ban, there we go. I'm gonna be sending in spam messages. That, like, you obviously have to. No, I didn't mean to do that. One time out. Oops. Yeah, you automate a lot of stuff with custom tooling. Yeah, Jason. And then the problem is when you accidentally forget to turn one of them off, you know? And you're like, uh-oh, I recorded this whole video and now I realize I did this thing that I can't use. And you have to go back and record the whole thing again. Kasim, struggle with 3D games, I stick to 2D. I used to only do 2D. And then at a certain point I was like, how about I'll just try to do something else for fun. And that was good. I'm glad I did. I just realized I was rotating the wrong thing there. So this should be this guy rotating. We just did 15. There. I feel like even 30 is leaning back too far. Because then it's not leaning back enough at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, let's stick with the 30. Boom, boom, boom. Woo! See, now I'm at the point where I'm just enjoying the bit where I run around testing the game, and really I shouldn't be doing this. I should be actually working on stuff for the game. But here we are. I'm just running around, seeing how long I can survive for. Oh, we need to have a timer that tells you how long you've been playing for, right? That shows you what kind of progress you're making. Right? Maybe the next thing I should do is work on the timer and a little screen at the end that tells you how long you lasted for and what level you got to. And then I can make changes to that as we go. Oh god, look. Look, there's so many of them. There's so many of them. They're coming to destroy me. Let's do that. Let's get a timer going first of all. UI text timer. See how quick we can get these kind of things going, right? So I want to use my outlined material. Do this up to 48, and I'm going to do this out a bit, center it, move it up to the top up here. 0, 0, 0. Oh, I always forget the code. Damage / hit feedback. Yes. I all that stuff. I need to do, like, you know, when you destroy an enemy, it goes poof and things like that. And sound effects and things. Definitely, all that needs to come into the game. We got controller. Public static. What public static? What am I doing? Public TMP text. Let's call this the timer text. I don't think I have like a level manager or something like that. Are you fitting the theme? Well, I'm mixing a few different things together, and also a little bit further in, I'm going to get into, you have to drag different objects in to upgrade your weapons and things like that. You have to mix them all together to make your weapons more powerful. It's going to be the idea. Timer, you go in there. So yeah, let's do a level manager. I don't have a level manager at the moment. Probably do one for things like this. Level manager. I don't even have any menus or anything in at the moment. I definitely need to get to that. Go. Pop you in here. And public float level time. Level time plus equals time.delta time. And I'm gonna have, I should have code on the UI to update the timer. Nope, you're not already equipped at all. UI controller. Public void update timer. Getting too feisty there. Let's take in float current time. And then we say UI controller.instance.update timer with the level time. Timer.text equals, wow. I not just like report. I can't just like ban them. You have to time them out on YouTube. Just ban them. Weird. Everyone okay with this music, by the way? It's not like too annoying for anyone, or like this, not necessarily this song in particular. I don't like this song, but just the general vibe of the music. So yeah, timer text.text equals do minutes and seconds. Oh, there's better ways to do it, but Let's just do it the easy way. Time span. No. Was it system time span? Time equals. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Oh no. Frankly Gamer, thank you for the follow. Your Funko-meter is an acceptable levels. Funko-meter or Funkometer? How would you pronounce that? Put the emphasis on the O? The Funko-meter? Or... yeah. I don't know. What am I doing? I am being a crazy guy. Oh, I'm just being silly. Let's just do it the easy way. I know there's a better way to do this, but my brain is drawn a blank, so I'm just going to do this. Time divided by 60, matf dot absolute, not absolute, matf dot floor to int dot toString plus boop, and then plus current time, oh, in the bracket too, current time modulo 60 again, that floor to int, I guess. No, I want to do dot toString f2, no, not f2, because I don't want to do decimal places. 2? No. What is it? Oh my god. Is it just 0, 0? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? I think that might be what it is. And I want to floor this. matf.floor to int. Let's see if this works. Frankly Gamer, hello. Last year software developer, 7 more weeks, I'm done. Sweet. You know, games in Unity, I have knowledge from WebDev. Any tips which course I should take from you? Obviously you know your way around programming. Honestly, whatever. Generally speaking, most of them are designed to be fairly straightforward to get into. Probably if you're starting, 2D platformers are quite good to start off with, so recommend maybe the 2D platformer course or the Metroidvania course from last year would be quite good, I think. As a good way to kind of look at that stuff. That would be my recommendation. Start with 2D. 2D is always kind of an easier way to dive into these things. And definitely more straightforward than getting into 3D. 3D is obviously a good thing to get into, but it takes a while to get there. Easier to start with 2D. Now let's see if I can survive for a minute to make sure that this works correctly. Keep running, James. Just keep running. Your aim isn't to actually level up, it's just to survive as long as possible. Whee. Working so far. Made in 2D. No, this is 3D. Although it could be done in 2D, considering the fact that it's all just basically done in a 2D plane. It's all top down. But for some reason, I made it in 3D. Well, mostly because we want to have bouncing and things like that going on. Whoa, watch out for them. Look at this horde of horrible beasties chasing after me. There we go. Okay, so it switched over to a minute correctly, so I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, I'm going to take all your power. Give me all them levels. Look, I'm on level 10 already. Hee hee. My plan worked. Because you can only take so much damage from them as well. So sometimes rolling into the pack of them works out. There's a little bit of invincibility when you take a hit. Oh, sorry, Benjamin. I don't have a name actually for this yet. So if there's any name suggestions, feel free to throw them in. Sometimes it's fun to get the name of the jam in there too. Not the name of jam, but like I get somehow work mix into it. But that's not a. That's not a requirement or anything, you know. Let's stop this. So the timer's working correctly. I'm happy with that. Big Project is a 2D RPG tower defense, but now I'm trying to make a little 3D platformer. Cool. With a side-scroller perspective. Ah. A+ start. Andy, how are you doing, man? Yeah, it should be archived. They should be on YouTube. I assume. Let's check and see. Was the one from yesterday? Yeah, the one from yesterday is up there on YouTube as well. So yeah, you can go to past live streams. Wow, isn't YouTube amazing? Look at all these old streams. These were a long time ago. 6 years ago, when I did a Flappy Bird stream. Wow, that's a long time ago. Yeah. But anyway, for anyone who doesn't know, you should all be following A+ Start on YouTube. Amazing glitch videos, which they, as a game developer, they're really interesting, especially because you see the ideas, you get a kind of a glimpse of how bigger games do certain things. When you see glitches and how like workarounds for games work, and if you watch like speed runs and things like that, and you see how they skip over certain elements, you can get an idea kind of how the game is actually handling certain elements in the game, how they're working around through different problems. And it's really interesting to see kind of behind the scenes of what's going on. Especially in those glitches where you get like out of bounds in worlds and you're like running around behind the scenes. You're like, oh, look how all this stuff is constructed. Everything looks all perfectly put together when you're in the world properly, but as soon as you get behind the scenes, it's like, oh, all this stuff is just completely a magical trick. Okay, so timer's working. Let's then make a screen pop up when we die. To say, hey, you died, but you did this stuff. Get a panel, death screen, boop, smaller. Yeah, the 3D course is in time to delve in. That's the problem, isn't it? It's always the problem is always time. time. Let's make this. I don't know. Make it blue for some reason. Can we add a? Can't remember if I do an outline. Is that going to be the color that we just did? Hard to remember sometimes with Unity. No, we can get an outline with a nice white color. It's like Final Fantasy all over again. Doop. Put this timer on here. I'm going to put another one of it. Say time survived. I'm going to name this to be the same. Survived text. And then I'll rename this to be survived value. Yeah, games because you walk through walls because there was no collider. Yeah, yeah. Narad, you gotta go. Thank you for hanging out. Keep being awesome. Top of a marching of time that's slowly guiding us all towards inevitable death. Yes. Frankly, how can you join the Game Jam? You can join the Game Jam at, let's pop the link in chat. Here we go. There's the link to the jam, where you can either join or later on you can check out the games that get entered. At the moment, is there still one entry? Yeah, one person has already submitted an early version of their game in here. I haven't checked it out, obviously, because I'm too busy working on my own thing. But, yeah. Has anyone posted any updates on Discord? No, not yet. Alright. Oh, I thought I saw Twitter here. Oh no, that's just notifications to me. I thought that was saying, hey, there's new stuff on the Twitters. Does it matter what engine you use? No, it absolutely does not. You can use whatever engine you want. Level reached. Text. Oh no, that's not. It deleted. Boom. Level reached text. Actually, we'll say you reached level, and then level reached value level 0. And this should be you survived for blank. Let's put a little bit of, this is going to be the death text. You died, but you we'll just leave that you died. You died, baby. Capitalize all of these because it just looks a bit better. Let's get this death screen covering up the actual time, because there's no reason to have the time on screen too, right? You died. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. You dead, baby. Ladva, hello, hello, hello. And Dr. Javasaurus. Java, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Long time no see. So, death screen, get out of here. I don't need you up here all the time, but we do want to update it when we die. So, public game object death screen, public TM, whoa, public TMP text, death time text, and death level text. And then where's our player health controller? No, actually our level manager, public void end, player died, player health controller, so when we die, there we go. Then we'll tell our level manager, let's just make the level manager an instance just to make it handy. Public static level manager instance awake instance equals this. The game jam, so it's okay to use lots of singletons. You have a game jam itch, Java. Nice. Frankly, you just bought the Metroid course. Cool. I hope you enjoy it. You're making a prototype for something else, but maybe you'll submit it. Java. Video game donkey. I haven't watched donkey stuff in a long time. What are we doing? We're working on our Game Jam game for the GamesPlusJam for this year. We'll probably end the stream in a little while here too, because we're going for almost 2 hours now. Almost 2 hours of streamy goodness. But I've enjoyed catching up with everybody and seeing how everyone's doing for the jam. Let's get this system working and then we'll wrap it up, and then I'll continue working on this off screen. Because I don't know about you guys, but I haven't streamed in so long, and now my voice, my talking voice isn't used to talking this much. You know, as opposed to my screaming voice. I don't know what I meant by my talking voice. Anyway, if our current health is that, then we'll say level manager dot instance dot player died. Boom. And then our level manager will tell the UI controller dot instance dot that screen dot set active true. Before we set that to active though, UI controller dot instance dot det time text dot text equals, and let's just copy the same bit of code from our UI controller that we use for updating the timer. Whoop. Copy this, pop that in there, but instead of current time, we'll just level time and current time, level time. What's your deadline? The deadline is tomorrow evening at 7 PM. Nev, you got all the courses and you got a few Unity starts. Sweet. I'm glad that I could help you. Javi, you need to squeeze the theme in. Yes, time does fly indeed. But yeah, you need to squeeze the theme in to your game. You can do it, Java. I believe in you. I see you gotta get some kebab. Enjoy. I hope it's tasty. Ladva Naran Bai? Bai? I'm never good at pronouncing names. So we set the time to that, and then we'll set UI controller.instance.depth level text dot text is equal to whatever the player stack controller dot instance dot current level is dot toString. Boop boop boop. There we go. Save that. Let's see what happens when we die. You did the online multiplayer course, Jabko? Sweet. I'm glad you enjoyed it. This. Boom. Whee. All this stuff. Here to die. And boom. Well, it did. Oh, I didn't assign any of the stuff over here. Good job, James. Time survived. Level reached. There we go. Boom. Let's try this again for the second time. Stuff is still going to happen. Like the counter is still going to count up behind the scenes. I need to stop all that happening. We don't want pickups being potentially picked up when we're dead as well. But that is also something that could happen. Let's just see what happens here. Yeah, we died. There we go. We died. Survived for 20 seconds. Reached level 3. Let's keep an eye on our level thing here. Oh, the player isn't available, so the player isn't able to pick up anything. Okay, so that won't happen, so that's good. I don't like that instantly bringing up the death screen. There should be a bit of delay to that, but we'll get to that. We'll set that up in a few moments. But I'm going to add a public bool level ended, and then level ended is true when the player dies, and then if not level ended, then we make the timer count up. Just had a little cough there. Brainoid, good to see you. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you again, Brainoid. If you're on Twitch, everybody go follow Twitch as well. Brainoid goes hand in hand with our good friend Honest Dan, especially in game jams. But I'm doing good. We're getting this stuff working here, and I think we're about ready to wrap up the stream here. Let's see, is there anyone Twitch at the moment? Oh no, that's probably going to mess things up if I try to do that. We'll keep it for later. Look about all your jam consumption. Thank you, Locke. I'll probably do a bit of a stream tomorrow again as well. I don't know if it'll be early in the day or maybe a bit later for the end of the jam. I'm not sure. I haven't decided any of that stuff yet. I'm gonna have to go back to work recording. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm sorry. I'm not here to give you a legitimate excuse anymore. I just want to make sure if I die here. Boop. Player dies. Okay. Did my timer stop going? Yes, it did. Correct. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm pretty happy with what we got done here in the jam, or in the stream. We actually got the game looking like something is going on, not just a couple of empty capsules and blobs and stuff. And we got some cool things happening. So, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for being cool. I'm glad you all came to check out the stream. And I definitely want to see how everyone's doing. I hope all your games are going well. It was good to hear the progress you're all making, most importantly. And I can't wait to see what all the games look like at the end of the jam. I'm really excited to play games once the jam is over. And of course, I'll be doing a video of like my favorite games from the jam as well, taking a look at some cool ones, and it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, everyone. I will see you all very soon. Keep being awesome, keep being amazing, and keep being fantastic.